Thomas also watching this. He's our Chief Justice correspondent, father himself. He's covered policing in this country for many, many years for us here at ABC News. And Pierre, you talk about the time it will take for change, but on the other hand, we have seen Congress, known for moving notoriously slowly, yesterday presenting the potential for some reform across this country. Still unclear how quickly that could move and whether it will be accepted by both parties. But relatively swiftly that we would hear proposals on the table in Washington.
You're absolutely right, David. The House yesterday moved forward or is considering some measures that would ban chokeholds, that would ban racial profiling. It remains to be seen how much bipartisan support there will be, but the Senate is set to take up some legislation or at least discuss it. And David, you're right. As I look at those images today from that church, so familiar for those of us who grew up in the so-called black church. The music, the homegoing celebration, a celebration of life, but at the same time embracing the sadness of what just took place where that man's life was lost in such a horrific way. And David, as you and Byron were talking about change often coming slow, I was thinking about how similar in some ways this moment is to the 1960s and 50s. There were signs of black men that they would carry saying, "I am a man." And now you see these signs saying, "Black Lives Matter." Both are born out of the same notion that black people want justice. They want it to be treated equally and with respect. And it seems now we're back in that cycle again, asking some of those very same poignant questions, David.
Thank you, Pierre. Pierre Thomas with us for our coverage today. And as you can see, members of the family still approaching the front of that church. They did not want to be part of this group of families who all now share this grief, share similar experiences. But as Pierre just said, and as Lindsay noted earlier, there have been flickers here that perhaps this time will be different. And you can certainly see signs of that when you look at the protests across this country in large cities and in small, and in the makeup of the faces that you see in the crowd, and then in the parents who wanted to bring their children and trying to explain to their children the historic context that this isn't just one incident. This is one of many. I want to bring in Rachel Scott, who's watching our coverage with us today. She's outside the White House, and we know President Trump has responded to calls to defund the policing. He does not support that. Vice President Joe Biden also saying he does not support calls to defund police in America, though he did say reform is needed. And after witnessing the episode in the last week of peaceful protesters being cleared in front of the White House for that photo op, Rachel, we took note of the fence that has been put up outside the White House and how that has become, instead of a fence, a memorial to George Floyd.
That's exactly right, David. This fence right here behind me has really divided the people from the people's house for the past few days. But now we are seeing it become a rallying symbol, a symbol of unity. And it really strikes to the heart of what this movement is about. Not only are you going to see George Floyd's name on this fence, you're also going to see the names of other black lives that have been lost at the hands of police. You're going to see stories of Americans that have experienced racism and racial inequality in this country. This area, David, was renamed Black Lives Matter Plaza. But protesters tell me while the symbol is powerful, they want to see action. They want to see change. They want to see this country be better for the next generation. And as I've been out here today, I have seen that next generation. We have heard from them. I met a 9-year-old boy who told me he wants to be a NASA engineer. He held up a sign asking if his life would be taken before he got the chance to do so. Right in front of the White House, Parents, both white and black, are having this conversation about race in America. And we are learning that the fence may be taken down in the next 24 hours. Those protesters and these families could only hope that their messages and their stories will not be lost along with it, David.
That is the true hope. Rachel Scott in Washington, just outside the White House. The fence with the growing tributes by the day. And Rachel, you made me think of the mother I spoke with here. You know, there's about a half-a-mile walk to the church here in Houston behind me in this searing heat. The feel like temperatures today will reach 110, 111 degrees, the heat index, by midday today. And it was just as intense yesterday. And to watch people travel from all over this country to make that walk